somewhere between 60 and 65, something changes in your circulatory system that almost nobody talks about. Blood that used to return efficiently from your legs to your heart starts pooling, not dramatically, not in a way that shows up on a routine checkup, just slowly, quietly, night after night, sitting in your calves and feet while you lie in bed, wondering why your body won't let you sleep. Researchers have measured this. Adults over 60 spend up to 40% less time in deep, restorative sleep than they did at 45. And the most overlooked reason isn't stress, screen time, or that afternoon coffee. The circulation problem that starts in your legs before your head ever hits the pillow. Here's the good news. There's a position. 3 minutes. No equipment, no prescription, no experience required, and it directly addresses this exact mechanism. I'm Dr. Thomas, a physician specializing in cardiovascular health and aging. Let me explain what's actually happening and what to do about it. Here's what nighttime looks like for a lot of people past 60. You fall asleep fine. But somewhere around 1 or 2 in the morning, something pulls you out. The room is quiet. There's no obvious reason to be awake. But your body feels unsettled, a low-level restlessness. It's like something underneath the skin needs to move. Your legs feel heavy, or strangely alert, like they never got the message it was time to rest. Maybe a vague pressure in the calves. Maybe a discomfort you can't quite name. So you lie there watching the ceiling, watching the clock. And by morning, you feel like you spent the night working instead of sleeping. It's not a sleep problem, not in the way most people use that phrase. That's a circulation problem wearing a sleep problem's clothing. Here's what's happening. During the day, gravity pulls blood down into your legs. Circulatory system, specifically your calf muscles, and a series of valves in your veins, is supposed to push that blood back up toward the heart. When you're younger and your vascular system is more elastic, this works efficiently. After 60, those valves weaken, vein walls lose their tone, and blood pools in the lower legs as the day goes on. By evening, a significant amount of fluid has accumulated down there. When you lie flat, your body starts redistributing that fluid. Your kidneys kick in. Heart rate shifts. Your nervous system, instead of settling into the slow, steady rhythm needed for deep sleep, gets activated by this process. What wakes you up? Not anxiety, not a nightmare. Your own body trying to do its job with a circulation system that has changed. The good news. This mechanism responds almost immediately when you give it the right input before bed. You don't need to fix your veins. You don't need medication. You just need to help your body drain the fluid from your legs before you lie down, so your heart and nervous system aren't doing that work at 1 a.m., when you're supposed to be in deep sleep. That's exactly what Legs Up the Wall does. Before I walk you through it, I want to tell you about Gary. Gary Hutchins, 68, retired electrician from Knoxville. He came in complaining about what he called broken sleep. Hadn't slept a full night in 4 years, tried melatonin, tried a new mattress, tried going to bed earlier, going to bed later, nothing worked. When I asked about his evenings, he described what most men his age describe. Dinner around 6, some television, feet up in the recliner, bed by 10. I asked if his ankles ever looked puffy by evening. He looked at me like that was the strangest question anyone had ever asked about. Then he's yes, sometimes. I told Gary I wanted him to try one thing for 2 weeks before we changed anything else. 3 minutes before bed, legs up the wall, that was it. 2 weeks later, he walked in, and before he even sat down, he said, "I don't know what you did, but my wife wants to know if she can do it, too." He was sleeping through until 5 or 6 in the morning. The restless, heavy feeling in his legs had almost completely disappeared. What changed wasn't Gary's sleep. What changed was the fluid distribution in his legs before he ever closed his eyes. Here's exactly how to do this. Find a clear stretch of wall. Your bedroom wall works perfectly. Sit sideways close to it. Then slowly swing your legs up so the backs of your legs rest against the wall. Your body should be at roughly a 90-degree angle. Back flat on the floor, arms resting at your sides or on your stomach. Your legs don't need to be perfectly straight. If your hamstrings are tight, a slight bend in the knees is fine. The only goal is that your legs are elevated above the level of your heart. Set a timer for 3 minutes. While you're there, gravity is doing the work your veins have been struggling to do all day. Pooled blood and fluid drain back toward your core. Venous return, the rate at which blood flows back to your heart, improves within the first 60 to 90 seconds. Your heart rate drops slightly, and your autonomic nervous system reads this cardiovascular shift as a signal that it's safe to power down. The system that was going to spend the first 2 hours of your night redistributing fluid is instead receiving a body that already did that work. Sleep becomes accessible earlier and stays accessible longer. You may feel a gentle tingling in your legs during this. That's normal. That's circulation improving. One note. If you feel discomfort in your lower back, place a folded towel under your hips. And if you have a history of blood clots, heart failure, or glaucoma, check with your doctor before starting. Here's the sequence most people notice. Night 3. The restless, unsettled feeling in your legs at bedtime is noticeably quieter. Your body is arriving at bedtime in a better circulatory state. Day 7. Middle of the night waking becomes less frequent. Instead of lying awake for 45 minutes at 2 a.m., you drift back within 10 or 15, because the redistribution that was waking you up has already been handled. End of week 2. Most people describe something they'd almost forgotten was possible. Waking up and feeling like the sleep actually counted. Before I continue, I want to ask you something, and I genuinely want to hear your answer in the comments. What time do you usually wake up in the middle of the night? Type it below. 1 o'clock, 2, 3, whatever it is. You'll notice the same numbers showing up again and again down there. And there's a reason for that, which connects directly to what I just explained about circulation cycles. If someone in your life has been complaining about broken sleep for years and has tried everything, this is the video to send them. Not because it's complicated, because it's finally the right explanation. Here's your one action for tonight. Find your wall, set a 3-minute timer, do this once before you get into bed, that's day 1. If you want to make it a 30-day challenge, same wall, same time, within 30 minutes of getting into bed, every night for 30 days. By the end of it, you won't be doing this because a doctor told you to. You'll be doing it because you've felt what a full night of deep sleep does for the next day. Subscribe, tease. This gave you something you hadn't heard before, subscribe. Because next week, I'm covering something directly connected to today. There's a specific mineral the majority of adults over 60 are quietly deficient in. Its only job at night is to keep your blood vessels relaxed and your nervous system calm enough to stay in deep sleep. Most people have never been tested for it. Most doctors don't bring it up, and the food sources everyone lists online. The least absorbable forms after 60. That video goes up next week. You'll want to have seen this one first. I'm Dr. Thomas. See you there.